In this video on EasyEst Lite, we're going to cover some features and benefits that until you need them, you don't know the value of them. Most data is displayed either on a list, which is columns and rows, or on a form, which is something like this form here. Forms are static in terms of the configuration of the fields and how the information is displayed. However, the columns can be arranged any way you want. You can add additional information on columns. You can also move items up and down. You can move groups of items by tagging them and go into the tag menu and either copy or move them. So the lists are fairly extensive in the way that you can configure them. We're now viewing the bid item list, which has just a basic information and no cost shown here. We're going to add a bid percent material and labor to this view by right mouse clicking, going down to select a column to display. And we're going to scroll down to the material area. Or actually, we're going to get the labor while we're here, the raw cost. And we're going down to get the material raw cost. And also we'll get the bid percent. And I'm going to click off of there, and you'll see now that we have material cost, labor cost, and a percent that it represents of the bid. Once you have the columns you want displayed, then you can go to the View menu and save this view. And we're just going to give it a simple code of test, and we're going to call it My View, and save this view. Now, to give you an idea of how this works, we're going back to the views, load a view, and I'm going to load this basic starter view again. We're back to where we started. Now the saved view, we go to views, load this view, and find that test view, probably at the bottom here. Here it is. And load this, and we have this view, so saved for future reference or future use. Next, we're going to talk about cross-reference. It's available from the Tools menu or the toolbar up at the top here where it says XREF. Let's bring the division list up. And this is a fairly small bid, so there won't be too much in it. But if we scroll down here and let's say we want to look at the electrical items, we click on it, hit the XREF here, tell it to go to bids, because you can actually cross-reference to all your price book items too, but we're just going to look at the bid. And at the title bar, you'll see bid item list, division 25. And so we're just looking at the electrical items. For review, modification, you can add to the list here, take things away, change the price, anything you want. After you've seen this and want to go back, you want to click on the all. This redisplays from any cross-reference or show only that you've done. So we redisplay the bid. Memos can be attached to any row in any list. You'll see this M up here and this little darker gray area. So if we look at division list, get it up here, or the subdivision list, they all have this memo unless you've hidden it or taken it away. So all lists have the memo able to attach to it. When you click in it, the memo box opens, and I'm just going to put some letters in here. When you click off of it, it puts a M in that column to let you know you have a memo. To see the memo, you just click back on that line and you can see it down here. The memos can be dragged around the screen and made any size you want them to be made. To close all these windows except the bid item list, go to the Windows, and there's a choice that says Close All Except Bid Item List. We're going to close all the windows now. As we continue to talk about what you can do on a list, keep in mind that most lists have this feature unless it is a list that has hard-coded item numbers like your price book list. You can, in these lists, you can sort from any column. Generally speaking, it's a good idea to save the current. We're going to go to reports, and you'll see here it says set this Windows row order. We can click on it. It doesn't do anything that you can see, but it puts it in the current state that it's in. If we want to go to the quantity column and sort it, let's say high to low, to the largest quantities, hit the A to Z sort here, and this little memo here tells you that you should set the report order. When you click got it on any of these messages, this will go away. We're just going to say OK here, and we're going to click the current field high to low. And so this sorts all of our bid items from the largest quantity to the smallest quantity. Now, to get your list back where it was, go to the Tools menu and select Sort, and this time we're going to click on Report Order, which we saved, and we're back to where we started. To copy and move single items in most rows, or list I should say, just highlight the row that you want to move or copy. To copy, you would right mouse click, and one of the choices is copy this bid item. And if we click on that, we've simply made a copy of this particular item. If I click off, you can see that they're both the same. You'll also notice the copy was given a new number sequentially, the next number available. Whenever we copy and move items, it will change the sequence order because this is an audit trail. Let's say we want to move this item up above this item, and you use this shortcut up here, which has the up arrow in it, and that moves it up. You want to move it back down, hit the one back down. To resequence the items, you would go to the bid, and there is a choice, resequence bid items. We're not going to do it now because we're just going to take this one out, and we use the remove delete record here, confirm it, and it's gone. The last feature we're going to talk about in this video is the tag feature. It has an awful lot of uses to it, and we're only going to scratch the surface. This time we're only going to talk about copying or moving multiple items in a list. To do that, if you wanted to move this section here from 6 to 11, you can go to the tag menu and begin tagging here, and you can go to the last one and the tag menu and end tags here. Next, you can scroll down to wherever you want to put it. In this case, we're just going to go down to the bottom, put it at the bottom, the tag menu, and move. And now they're out of sequence, of course, but they are moved to the bottom of the list. If we wanted to copy them, go to the tag menu and copy these tagged items. And now we have a copy of the ones that we did a moment ago. The last thing, but it is not the last of the things you can do with the tags, we're going to change the $440 or 440 value here to, let's say, 600 just in this list. First thing we're going to do is untag what's tagged there, and then we're going to tag from here to here. Or actually, yes, let's do that first. Let's begin tags and tag to the end. Now we're going to go over to this column, the quantity column, and tell the system to replace 440s in the tag list with 600. Next, we're going to go to the edit menu and replace. And in the replace, we're going to make sure that we have tagged lines only because that's the only things we want to do. And we're going to find the 440 exact match, and we're going to replace it with 600. and replace all. It says we've got 4 replaced, and we replaced those, but we controlled it by tagging the ones that we wanted to effectively do this change on. Lastly, we're going to do the same thing with the tagged rows, but with a little different. We're going to click on the column we want to work in, which is the quantity column, going to the Find button, and we're going to find 600. Exact match, and we want to do it in tag lines only. We're just going to show only the found, just to make it a little bit cleaner. Now we're going to do the tag menu again and change column value. We're going to change it back to the 440 and change. The last thing we're going to do is untag the ones we have, show all to redisplay, and untag the rest of them so that we're back to where we started this time together.